Hello everybody, it's your boy The Green Talents coming at you with a video that is very important and it concerns my skin complexion. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all haven't heard at the time, former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Brian Flores, is suing the NFL, the New York Giants, Miami Dolphins for wrongfully firing and wrongfully hiring of a head coach. And he's suing the NFL too. And what he said was, he said in certain ways the NFL is racially segregated and managed like a plantation, which makes sense because the New York Giants was supposed to have interviewed him before they even hired a head coach, and they hired Brian, what was his name? DeBoer, Brian DeBoer, I think that's his name, from the former offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, who just been introduced as head coach, I think today. And so, with this being said, this just goes to show that racist is still in the country, and in particularly in sports. And for me to make up a video like this highly extreme, just goes to show that we are in a bad position when it comes to getting jobs. You know what I'm saying? And this guy, and they right. 32 teams in the NFL, and none of them are not owned by minority owners. These are all white owners. And there's only one head coach in the NFL that's black, and that's the guy from the Mike Tomlin from the Steelers. He's the only head coach that's black in the NFL. The rest of the NFL is crazy. So listen, listen, just a few minutes. Listen.
Bosses. He has what, 32 bosses out here that he has to answer to, and this ultimately goes back to ownership. We see right now, the Denver Broncos are up for sale right now, and that's an opportunity for possibly introducing minority ownership into the National Football League. But a lot of times with these owners, they're going to go with people that they're
and then Saint wide receiver, I forgot the boy name, and he said that Brian Flores is about to change the game, which is true. He's going to. And this might be the possibility he might never coach in the NFL again, based on the comments made today, based on what has happened today.
These type of issues happen. You'll bring RC and myself back on the show again, and we'll vent and rant and talk about all these things that's going on, and it's just a vicious cycle. So again, I'm talking to ownership. Ownership has to make a choice. Either you're going to continue to do the status quo, what we've seen now for decades, or you're going to address an issue that's really important to you. We've seen the NFL, we've seen these owners address issues as it relates to money. When it comes to money, they're going to make sure they're going to make changes so it doesn't affect the bottom line. Well, guess what? This is the issue that's of utmost importance to a lot of people.
You're right about the money part, for sure.
Are you going to continue the status quo, or are you going to, find it in yourself to make substantial change in order to move the game forward?
You just mentioned the Broncos, Woody. They are for sale. They were also a part of the lawsuit. Brian Flores accusing them back in 2019 of not giving him a fair shot at their interview. He accused them of showing up an hour late and drunk. They have released a statement. We'll have that for you on the other side of the commercial break. RC, Woody, thanks for joining us on SportsCenter.
Still to come on SportsCenter, Tony and Mike weigh in on Brian Flores' bombshell lawsuit against the NFL and what this landmark move means for the league going forward in PTI's bonus segment. Plus, the Buccaneers GM takes the mic for the team's first press conference as Tampa turns the page from the Tom Brady era. And continuing coverage of Brady's announcement today, including a new report on reaction to his retirement.
I ain't got to think about Tom Brady. Tom Brady ain't even important. I made a video on Tom Brady earlier last week about Tom Brady retirement, so I ain't got to make a video on that. But it's just that the thing is, we live in a country where racism is at an all-time high. The thing is, it's low key. It ain't like it is with the white folks wearing the white bandanas on their head. You know what I'm saying? And praising the white power situations and go ahead, skinheads, KKK, all that. All that is not even, that don't even matter anymore. It's just that the thing is, this is ridiculous for a coach to even, or former coach to even sue the NFL for this case, this is really really crazy. I mean, it got to a point where this really needs to stop. I mean, all these racial things that going on in the NFL need to stop. And it's not just in the NFL. It's in the Major League Baseball. It's in basketball. It's in hockey. I mean, it's in every top sport that's making billions of dollars a year. That's what it comes on. And then they right. You got all the NFL players who putting their bodies on the line for injuries, nicks and knacks, small injuries, minor injuries, big injuries, season-ending injuries, and head injuries. So all these black folks that are doing this, and these people who are the owners, status quo, up in the top booths, in their luxury boxes, watching up black folks put our bodies on the line. This is crazy. I mean, and this really gonna leave a scar on the NFL because it took this one coach to do it, but 6 years ago, Colin Kaepernick did the same thing. The only thing about it, he actually spoke against the NFL as well, and all the above, and you see what happened to Colin Kaepernick. He no longer played another down in the NFL. Right now, Colin Kaepernick is almost 40 years old, and this about 5-6 years ago that he did this. And so, what he said then and what's going on now. And now we actually seeing it because ESPN just broadcasted, and I'm quite sure it's on social media outlet pretty much, NFL Network, FS1, all these major sports stations across the country. You know what I'm saying? And this is sick. I mean, in all my years, I never thought that I would even make a video based on racial comments. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the New York Giants brought in Brian DeBoer from the Buffalo Bills as their new head coach, and then they been a statement a while ago saying that they are comfortable with their hire. But then, see, the New York Giants actually was supposed to interview Brian Flores for the head coaching position. They never gave him the opportunity even for an interview. So what he's doing right now is right. New York Giants is wrong, and something tells me this may haunt the New York Giants for the next decade or so because you got all these black defensive coordinators, all these black offensive coordinators. You got all these black people with positions on all 32 NFL teams. A lot of you black guys are position players. You don't have no black people in the pretty much in the front office, on ownership, all the above. I mean, don't get me wrong. I ain't got anything against white folks. I don't. I do have issues with race and racial tendencies among black and white folks. But for this to even be put on here, then goes to show that we are living in a country where race is still a majority point that we are still facing with right now. So, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because in all my years in time, I never thought that one black head coach, would put the NFL on blast the way he did today. And you really can't blame him because if you are scheduled for an interview, you supposed to follow by the interview. And then makes bad about it, this makes the Rooney Rule look like a joke. It really does. And you got a lot of these NFL teams are not hiring NFL coaches. They're not doing it. And that's bad. And that's only one in the league. And the rest of them are just white coaches. You know, so this is sad. This is really, really sad. So, I might make another video on this later on in the week, depending on what else details I get between now and Friday. But we'll see what happens. So anyway, this is your boy, the Green Talons, coming to you with a video that I thought in all my years of making videos that I thought I would never see myself making. So this is your boy. Holler back. Enjoy your day. Because what I just got to with today, my day is probably not going to be enjoyed very much. So, y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.